This is the user's guide for the control switch. This is the symbol you can see here. The control switch is the element you can see here. Here you see the model of the element control switch. And here you have the gate. This is this connector here. And then on the other side you have these two connectors on top and at the bottom. This is nothing else than a resistor which is changing its value depending on the input voltage. The threshold of the input voltage can be set in the input mask. Important detail, one of the connectors of the gate, which is not visible here, is always connected to ground, so you will need to have a control element controlling this gate also grounded. For demonstration purpose I set up a circuit now. You see I have here the gate voltage, and then I bring this control switch, and you see that as soon as I put the control switch on the screen, it asks for another earth, and you can do that by adding an earth, for example, to the gate voltage. And I continue with my circuit. Here I set up now my gate voltage. This is a rectangular signal generator. I put it on 2 volts. Frequency, let's say 100 Hertz. And I want to see it. And then I want to set the minimum trigger voltage at the gate of the control switch, which in this case would be 1 volt. And I want to see the current through this resistor, or maybe the voltage is better. And here I want to see the voltage at this source here, which is 10 volts. So this rectangular gate source voltage will now switch on and off this control switch. And so I will measure the voltage at this resistor going up and down from 0 to the value of this DC source I have connected here. Let's see what happens now. So I have now 20 milliseconds. Let's go to 100 milliseconds. And here I have, let's say, 1000 steps. And let's see what happens now. So you can see here I have now my gate voltage plus minus 2 volts. This triggers now up and down this resistor built in this switch, and at the resistor here I measure now the source voltage on and off. With this element you can now simulate already relatively complex schemes. This is now an inverter. Here you have a DC voltage source, and here you have a grid connection. It could also be a motor or a small generator, whatever you like. And here you have the control system, and let's run it to see what happens. So you can see now that the red curve is the power, and depending on the phase shift between the control voltage here, which is a synthetic AC sinus, and the phase shift between this one and this one, you can either pump energy from the grid into the DC source, which would be a battery charging, or the other way around, you can then pump energy from the battery into the DC grid or motor or whatever. Let's demonstrate it. So this is a pulse width modulated signal, and depending on the phase shift you can see power is positive or negative. So try it yourself on www.ecsp.ch.